Next game on our list is the Seattle Seahawks defeating the New York Giants in our only matchup that featured two over 500 teams. The Seahawks get their victory. They move to 5-3 by beating the Giants 27-13. This was a day. I mean, the Seahawks, third straight win in a row, lead the NFC West. These two teams coming in were like, okay, which is the more surprising team? Which is more the real deal team? Seahawks looked good in this game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't watch enough for this game, but I thought the Seahawks looked really good in this game. You're on mute.
If you're asking me, I agree.
Yeah.
I thought the Seahawks played really, really well. They didn't turn the football over, which I told you, this is. They had one turnover in the game. When you don't have a lot of turnovers, you can be in football games, and that's really the difference in bad teams and good teams. It's about giving the ball and maximizing your opportunities to score, right? And taking away from the other team their opportunities to score. They created 2 turnovers, and they only gave up 1. That's a winning formula. They didn't run the ball particularly well throughout this game, but they kept at it, and they were able to make some plays late. And I thought that was important. Neither team was really great on third down. The Giants were a little bit better. The Seahawks didn't convert any third downs, and they were still able to come out on top. I don't know what to say about the Seattle Seahawks. Pete Carroll has done an excellent job. Very similar to what we talked about with the NFC South, though. I think these two teams are nice stories. I think they're cool, good stories. They're playing really well. I don't think either one of these teams is ready to make it like a deep playoff run or anything, but you have to give credit to the Seattle Seahawks for another great performance. For a team that everybody thought was tanking, that was like, oh, they just want to go get their franchise quarterback. They compete, and they're playing really, really good football. Like good football, just sound, fundamental, good football. And it's why they can go get wins like this. Now, they might not be able to beat some of the best teams in the league, but they can go win those marginal games that are decided, whether it's home field advantage or, a few possessions here or there decides the game. They can go get those wins. And I think they've done a hell of a job.
Yeah, and Geno Smith is getting the ball out. Last week it was the Marquise Goodwin show. DK Metcalf was questionable coming into this game. We didn't know if he was going to play. He did 6 receptions, 55 yards and a touchdown. A Tyler Lockett day as well, 5 receptions, 63 yards and a touchdown.
He dropped one too.
And he dropped
one right in his hands.
And that's the thing with good coaching. You stick to the game plan. Just because he dropped it, you're not changing anything. You're not doing anything different. They still gave the ball to Tyler Lockett and a good quarterback in Geno Smith, because if you watch the game when it happened, Geno Smith immediately goes to him. I mean, I'm sure a bunch of quarterbacks do that when there's a big-time player who drops the ball in a big-time moment. Like, it happens. But Geno Smith, You saw him. He goes and rallies his boy up. He goes right back to him. They get the tutty. They win this game, in a game that, I mean, this was, like you said, these two teams maybe are not all the way there yet, but they're on the right track, and the Seahawks are doing exactly what they need to do.
Seahawks are set up nice. They're set up real nice right now. They got a lot of picks. They got a lot of young talent. They drafted really well. They were one of our winners in the draft. I mean, you haven't even just talked about how good the offensive line has been, with two rookies in Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas. Not to mention they lost their starting center in Austin Blythe. When you get him back with Gabe Jackson and Damian, the offensive line is revamped. This is the young corners, or Tariq Woolen and Kobe Bryant and them. You just re-signed Quandre Diggs. They are set up to be a great football team in the next 3 to 4 years. If they can go, and I don't know. Do we want to talk about them getting a new quarterback, or do you want to rock with Geno Smith? But either way,
I don't think it's. I mean,
I think they're drafting someone no matter what. I think they're drafting a quarterback no matter what.
I know Pete Carroll is not Andy Reid in terms of an offensive guru and offensive mind in this league, but with the amount of picks, how many they have multiple first round picks this year, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, they're going to get a high one with Denver.
Exactly. So you can see a world where you take your quarterback high and you have him sit behind Geno Smith.
Oh, absolutely. But what I'm saying is they're going to draft a quarterback. And then Geno could still be the guy.
Exactly. It's not even a knock on Geno Smith. It's just the truth and the fact of the matter. But you're now setting yourself up perfectly to follow. I mean, in the copycat league that we see, copy paste what the Chiefs are doing, draft your quarterback, let him sit behind Geno Smith for a year, let him learn, let him develop, and then come in. You have all the draft capital. We've talked about it so many times on this show that they are already building the foundation with the cornerstone pieces of Cross. They have DK. Their defense is getting better. Jamal Adams is hurt. They don't even have Jamal Adams on the field. Like, this is a team that is set up prime for the future. On the Giants side of things, they lose their first game in a while. Their 4-game winning streak is snapped. They moved to 6-2. It's not this was inevitable. I'm gonna close this out. I don't know if you have anything on the Giants you wanted to talk about, but this is kind of what we said on Thursday's show when we were previewing this game. They were in London. Now they come back and this is their first road loss. They were bound to lose one. The travel's tough. They've been on the road a lot. This was just a tough matchup for the Giants coming into this game. They were unable to do it. 13 points. It was kind of just a setback game for them. I think the Giants are still the same team that we thought they were coming into this, though. A tough team to play against, who just needs everything to go right for them to get that dub. They're not going to out-talent players. I would like to see the Giants, though, and we talked about it earlier on the show. Maybe they can't because of Kenny Golladay. I would like to see them go out and be a little bit aggressive for a wide receiver. Just my thoughts. You're frozen. I would assume you have something to say about that, though.
Yeah, they could. I think the Giants are who they are. They struggle to score points, and that's if they don't get turnovers, they're going to struggle. They just don't have the offensive firepower. If you stop Saquon Barkley, you stop that offense. Daniel Jones has done a good job not turning the football over. I think that's important. I think that's why they've been in games. So ultimately, that's what matters the most is are they turning the football over? And when they're not turning the football over, they're going to be in games. And when they do turn the football over, they're not going to be in games. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah. In this game, it was tough. Seahawks defense looked good against them. But they will bounce back. They're 6-2 now on the season after falling to the Seahawks 27-13.